Hello, my friends. It's me, Kirsten, and this is the It's Giving Mystical podcast. And this is your podcast for the week of June 20th. Listen, we have this new moon, this Cancer new moon coming up this week on the 25th or 26th, depending on where you are. And the astrologers are excited. There's a lot of energy, a lot of talk, a lot of chatter around this new moon. The basics of it are that Cancer has just entered into Jupiter. So whatever part, we've talked about this a little bit, like whatever part of your chart has Cancer in it is getting this beautiful boost of energy and love and good vibes and growth potential that Jupiter offers. And this new moon is in Cancer. And I think it's aspected to Jupiter, which means it's like this really exciting little incubator. And it's a great time to begin something new because whatever you begin has all this great, beneficial, bountiful energy behind it, and it will carry it all the way through the next year of our lives. So don't sleep on this new moon. We've had some really beautiful new moons recently. This one is juicy in terms of beginning something, in terms of asking or blessing whatever it is that you're trying to evolve or grow or bring into your life. So aho to this new moon. Want to kind of put that on your calendar. And go listen to your favorite astrologer, go listen to Maddie or anyone else who you love who speaks about astrology in a way that feels supportive and inspiring, not fear-based, not shame-based. Like we're working on loving ourselves more deeply, more calmly, more compassionately, not on adding to the fear that is already so plentiful in our culture and world right now. Where are we? Let's think for a second. The Nine of Wands, that was an interesting energy last week. Curious what that was like for you. Curious what came up for you around your armor, around your boundaries, around also this deep recognition and gratitude for who you are. Like who you are, how you've gotten here, how you've arrived here, what you've built, what you've created in your life, what you've manifested, but also what you've worked really hard to attain and achieve. I hope there was some like patting yourself on the back or some gratitude or just a moment where you looked around and said, I did this. Like I've done so much and I'm grateful to find myself here. I'm grateful we live in a world where I can create things, where I can co-create, where I can generate the life that I dream of with the universe, with the world. So yes, we are wounded warriors. None of us get out of this alive, right? Like none of us arrive at the table without sustaining some pretty deep injuries. And yet we endure, and yet we're still here. So I hope that was part of your experience last week. Maybe even a reconsideration around the way that you protect yourself, how you manage the boundary line, what that's like for you, what's allowed inside of your space, how you negotiate the opening and the closing of the gates, how you negotiate the wearing of the armor and the taking it off. I hope that that was all helpful and fruitful for you this past week. The card I pulled for us this week is the Two of Wands. So we're still here, still investigating wand energy. And the Two of Wands, listen, I have such a bias for the Three of Wands. Like I love the Three of Wands. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. And the Three of Wands and the Two of Wands are sister cards. They're actually this really interesting moment in tarot. I'm going to actually pull up the Three of Wands. They're this really interesting moment in tarot where you have this before and after image that's pretty stark. And it's unusual. Most of the cards, there's not a sense of a linear progression. There's a sense of an evolution, a sense of a becoming, a sense of experiencing. But the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands are this very interesting conversation around like where you get your satisfaction from. And the Two of Wands is a younger version of that. So it's this idea of wanting world mastery, wanting material success, ambition, and building a business and creating abundance for yourself, being seen as successful, being seen as powerful. And then the Three of Wands is after you face the inevitable truth that no one's really paying attention. And that sense of power, that sense of empowerment, that sense of satisfaction with what you've created is an inside job. So like no matter how much you have, you will always want more. And the work is not to attain more. The work is to live a life that feels full and abundant. This question around wealth is here with us. What is wealth? Like, I hope you know what your idea of wealth is, but it's worth thinking about. We're so focused on money. We're so focused on money here when wealth is so much more than that. I read this great book. It's by this Japanese author. It's called Happy Money. It's very short, very sweet book. I listened to it on Audible or maybe even Spotify. But he talks about how we are so graspy with money and that so much of the joy of money is being able to give it away, like the exchange. Like, why do you want all this wealth? You want all of this wealth to provide safety, to provide abundance, to, spoil the people you love, to feel like you can have the things you want, have the experiences you want. And all of that's great, but it's like it's the exchange that gives it value. If you have all the money in the world, but it just sits in the bank, it has really no live value, no live goodness to it. But if you have all this money and you can share it and you can make the people you love smile and you can do good in the world and you can do all these wonderful things with it, there's this movement. So the happy money idea is this idea of the exchange, getting really comfortable with the fact that money is energy and that it's not something that we're meant to like wand energy. It's not something we're meant to kind of hold tight to our chest. It's something we're meant to allow to come and go. And so much of our wealth is tied up with how much we enjoy that exchange, how comfortable we are in the flow of that exchange. He uses this great example where he talks about how important it is to have a home and how, if your money runs out, what that means. And he says, if you can count 50 people that you love, like 50 people that you can trust and that love you and care about you, and you could sleep on their couch for a week and know that it would be okay because you'd have somewhere else to go. After 50 weeks, you'd be okay. And you would know that it wasn't really about the money, right? The wealth came in the connections, the wealth came in the community. So it's just something to think about. Health is wealth is another one. The wealth, the richness of being in a body that's healthy and strong. Anyone who's ever suffered from any kind of illness or any kind of disability will tell you that to be comfortable in your body, to be able to take a walk, to be able to enjoy a meal, like to be able to sleep well at night, these things make your life rich. So the conversation between the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands is always one that I've adored in tarot. I love these two cards side by side. And the evolution of becoming someone who, and this is also interesting, he's the only character in tarot who has his back fully to the audience, him and the Eight of Cups, kind of. But both of those cards are indicating, I choose this for me. I choose this for me. And there's something about this evolution of being so concerned with the world that's happening in the Two of Wands, and then this way of maturing that becomes, actually, like, life is short, it is sweet, it is cruel, and I'm going to do what I need to do to feel safe and stable and vital in the world. Okay, so I love the Three of Wands. I'm very biased. I think this is one of my key cards. You think I would know these things off the top of my head, but I don't. It might even be the year I'm in. It feels something, and it feels deeply true to me and deeply empowered to me, and so I love it. So it brings us back to the Two of Wands, a card that I kind of, let's just put my biases on the table. I look at this card and I'm kind of like, you got some growing up to do, dude. But let's be fair. Like, let's take it back. One of the things this card indicates is that your ship has come in. Okay, so that's a message that is always around with this card. But when I pulled it today, I was like, oh, dude, your ship has come in. So there is something about this card that speaks to that feeling of working hard for something, wanting something, and having it arrive. Like, that's no small thing. That's its own wealth, its own richness too. The Two of Wands really indicates this moment of success, this moment of a return, this moment of satisfaction. Like I said, wands are always concerned with our satisfaction, always wondering what's satisfying us and how that's going for us. But the Two of Wands, there's this sense of mastery, at least from an exterior standpoint, like at least from the outside looking in, it looks good. This is kind of the card of social media. You look at people's social media and you're like, they've got everything going for them. And the Three of Wands is like, maybe, maybe not. But the Two of Wands, so we want to appreciate the beauty, appreciate the success, appreciate the response from the world, appreciate the optics, but not disappear into them. Because one of the things that's happening in this card is that he's not quite trusting his power. He's not quite trusting his energy. One of the wands is bolted in and the other one is like resting kind of precariously. Versus the Three of Wands, his sense of power is just innate. Like, it's in the ground, it's of the earth. The Two of Wands, he's not quite sure. So a lot of what's happening in the Two of Wands is we're testing whether the universe rewards us. We're testing whether we can attain what we want. There's a part of us that wants it to look good, that wants to be impressive and powerful and successful in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of our community, in the eyes of our family, our children, our partner, whoever you're interested in impressing. And so that's valid too. One of the things you want to remember is that the beauty of the tarot is that there's a card for every experience, and no experience is less than. And so the part of me, Kirsten, that's like, dude, fight for something deeper than external validation, or know your power on a deep level. Look yourself in the mirror with clear eyes. That's my own judgment. That's my own perspective. That's my own bias, right? Because the truth is, there are moments where we look to the outside world, we create something, and it succeeds. And we want to be celebrated for that. And we want that to be of value. And so that's what's here with the Two of Wands. I will say for this week, I really heard that message like your ship's coming in. There's some worldly achievement or success that's on the horizon for you. No one's going to be sad about that. So understanding that there is success in the week ahead, it definitely plays up with this Jupiter transit. It definitely lines up with this new moon in Cancer. And aho to you getting what you want, you having success, you having achievement. But there's just this kind of fog in the atmosphere that's also trying to remind you that wealth is made of many things, that your sense of abundance and wealth is not something that you should maybe find in just one lane. So that might be a question for you to ask this week. Where am I impoverished? And maybe that's something you're going to call in this Cancer new moon and this Jupiter energy. Am I impoverished in my health, my body? Am I taking best care of myself? Am I impoverished in my community? Do I feel lonely? What are my friendships like? Am I impoverished with experiences? Like, am I craving travel and expansion and adventure? Am I impoverished in my finances? Do I need to get clean and honest about what's happening for me financially? Am I impoverished in intimacy? Is that something I'm craving or want more of? So we're all going to have places where we're hungry, where we want something, where we crave to create something. And this is a beautiful moment to take stock with that, be honest about that, and to appreciate that that's okay. Like, it's okay for you to want. It's okay for you to have a sense of abundance and wealth and success in one place and crave more still, like crave more in other places. Interesting message. It feels like there's going to be some win this week. Some way you can look to the world and be like, I did this. Like, this happened. I called this in. And there might be some recognition at the same time of some place where you feel a little dry or parched or hungry or impoverished. And that's okay too, because we have this Cancer new moon coming in that's saying, if you're hungry there, then the universe knows that. There's some recognition of that. Let's bring it in. Let's make the sense of safety, of home, of care deeper in you. Let's let you be cared for in a deeper way. It's the energy of Cancer, right? It's the divine mother energy that wants to come in and hold us and give us all the good stuff. So it's an interesting message because it's very positive, but it's also looking at lack. And so both of those things are present here. But yeah, your ship's going to come in. That was definitely the message that came through. And I don't know, a win is a win, man. Like, we could all use a win now and then. That's my work to do this week, is to sit with the part of me that judges this as these material achievements as not enough or not impressive or not real power. And that's not true either, right? Another thing to think about, like, what is your sense of wealth and power and richness, and how aligned are you with that? And where's your own shadow around that? Because if I've got one, you've got one too. All right. Blessing this new moon for you, blessing this week ahead for you. And yeah, excited for you that your ship's coming in. Like, excited for you to look to the horizon and see something coming that you've wanted maybe for a long time. You deserve that. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.